Hi, welcome to video 7.5 on solving linear systems of equations by substitution. So on the first one, this is our system of equations, and we've already talked about how we can show that 4, 1 is a solution of a system, so I'm going to review that really quickly. This is your x and this is your y, and so I would just substitute this in for my x and in for my y in both equations and then show that both sides are equal. So for example, if I have 2x plus y equals 9, instead of the x I would put in 4, instead of the y I would put in 1, and then that's 8 plus 1 equals 9, 9 does equal 9, so that one works, and since it's a system I have to show both of them. So if I have y equals x minus 3, that's 1 equals 4 minus 3. 1 does equal 1, so that works. So that's how, if I have a solution, I can see if it works. However, a lot of the time you're not going to be given a solution, you're just going to be given the system and you have to find the solution on your own. So we talked about graphing as a way to solve. Substitution was another way that you learned to solve last year, and let me show you how that works. So right here, we have that y equals x minus 3, and what we can do is we can take that part right there and we can substitute it in for y in that equation. Because the idea is if we have an equation that has two variables in it, we cannot solve it. If we have an equation that just has one variable in it, then we can solve it. So we're going to rewrite this equation with the x in it so that we can solve that. So now I have 2x plus, but instead of y, I'm going to put x minus 3. And then equals 9. So now I just solve my equation. So 2x plus x is 3x minus 3 equals 9 plus 3 on both sides. So I have 3x equals 12, divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 4. So that's the first part. Then I have to finish the substitution because with a system of equations I need an x and a y, and I only have an x. So what I'm going to do is pick one of these two equations, whichever one looks easiest for me to solve, and I'm going to substitute 4 in for x and then solve for my y. This one looks like prettier numbers. So instead of x, I'm going to put in 4. 4 minus 3 equals 1. So now I have my x and I have my y, and that's my solution. Okay, let's try another one that's set up a little bit differently. On this one, we have y equals and we have y equals. So if this one equals y and this one equals y, then they also must equal each other. So we can do 2x plus 5 equals negative 3x minus 10. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And I get 5x plus 5 equals negative 10, minus 5 on each side. So I have 5x equals negative 15, and x equals negative 3. Substitute that back into whichever one I want. I'm going to do this one. So I've got y equals 2 times negative 3 that I'm getting from here, plus 5. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So that means my answer here is negative 3, negative 1. Okay, try this one. Go ahead and pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, here's your answer for that one. So my final answer on that one was 3, negative 2, and there's all my work. So you can see it starts here, and then from here, I went back up there. Okay, let's try a word problem. So this, we are writing our own system, and then we are also solving that system. So we've got Max and his dad, Kirk, are comparing their ages. The sum of their ages is 52, and Kirk is 7 years older than 4 times Max's age. Max's age is going to be M, and Kirk's age is going to be K. So we know that their sum is 52, so that means that Max's age plus Kirk's age equals 52, and we know that Kirk is 7 years older than 4 times Max's age. So that's our system. Then we're going to use substitution, so I'm going to take this and put it in instead of Kirk's age. So I've got M plus 7 plus 4m equals 52. M plus 4m is 5m minus 7 on both sides. So 5m equals 45. And so m equals 9. And then I can substitute that into whichever one of these I want. I'm going to do the k equals 7 plus 4 times 9. So that's 7 plus 36. That's 43. So that means that Kirk is 43 and Max is 9. Okay. So please give the next two a try. Go ahead and pause it and give it a shot, and then you can come back and see the answers. Here are my answers. Okay. Please write down any questions that you have, and we can talk about them in class.